Radio Salus.
Finally, he's here.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to 97.9 FM, www.salus.ul.ac.ur. W to this morning news bulletin with me, Claude Lutawana. Going on, synopsis.
This Saturday.
First for news.
Saturday report. 97.1.9 FM. Starting in Rwanda, the First Lady Jeannette Kagame on this Friday, May 26th, visited Ngororero, one of the districts affected by the flood and landslide earlier this month. The Minister of Health has announced that the Rwandan surgeon at King Faisal Hospital, together with a visiting team of American surgeons, successfully performed 3 living donor kidney transplants on this Friday. In some of our broader stories, Cameroon municipalities kidnapped 30 women. We've also got you a story about a project of road connecting South Sudan and Kenya. However, funding dries up. Coming up, Saturday report in details.
This Saturday.
First for news.
Saturday report. 97.1.9 FM. Welcome back to this morning news bulletin. Details with me, Claude Lutawana, starting in Rwanda. First Lady Jeannette Kagame on this Friday, 26th, visited Ngororero, one of the districts affected by flood and landslide earlier this month. The flash flood and landslide caused by heavy rains on May 2nd and 3rd killed over 135 people and displaced more than 20,000 people in northern, southern, and western provinces. A total of 23 people were killed in Ngororero district. The First Lady visited an emergency site at Lususa Catholic Parish in Ngororero sector, where more than 500 people displaced by the disaster are hosted. There are 14 emergency sites in Ngororero accommodating more than 3,500 people, including 345 children under 5. The First Lady met with the bereaved families and gave her condolence. Ngororero residents thanked the First Lady for the visit and told her that the humanitarian support they got after disasters assured them that the country's leadership cares about their citizens.
This Saturday.
First for news.
Saturday report. 97.1.9 FM. Drinking alcohol, smoking, taking drugs during pregnancy can affect a child's health. Therefore, women are strongly advised not to drink alcohol at all at any stage during pregnancy because there are many increased risk of miscarriage.
Health experts caution pregnant women to avoid substance use completely until after the baby is born. Despite varying guidelines, there is simply no safe amount of alcohol consumption during pregnancy. Drinking alcohol of any kind during pregnancy is dangerous to the pregnant woman because it can cause premature labor, miscarriage, stillbirth, and range of developmental, physical, mental, and emotional disabilities and disorders in the developing fetus, collectively referred to as fetal alcohol spectrum disorders.
When I am pregnant, I frequently need alcohol, and if I don't get it, I can't dare sleep. So that is what is called craving. When I was pregnant, I craved alcohol so that if my husband smelled it, I would get sick, and my health would get worse. When I had not get it and drank it, if I didn't yet get something I wanted, I would feel bad and I would be disturbed, but after getting it, I would be better. There is someone who craves sorghum beer or someone craves Gikwangari beer.
Dr. Dina Monda Chaisenga, acting director of Drug Abuse Prevention and Management Unity in Rwanda Biomedical Center, RBC, affirms that substance use impacts the mother and the developing fetus, as well as putting the women at the risk of abortion, and he added that all types of alcohol are equally harmful because when a woman drinks alcohol during pregnancy, the alcohol in her body quickly passes through the placenta and the umbilical cord to her baby, which is very harmful to the baby's developing brain and other organs.
Alcohol used for a pregnant woman is very dangerous because it harms her personally and even harms the developing baby in the womb. Moreover, beer is the first element of alcohol that can enter the womb of the child, so that you can find the mother sharing with the child. In that way, the effect of alcohol on the mother will be related to the effect on her baby. In general, alcohol and other drugs can affect the fetus, and if the mother uses alcohol during the pregnancy, should be at the risk of miscarriage.
Studies by the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, and American Addiction Centers show that approximately 40% of pregnant respondents reported to drinking within the last 30 days also reported using other substances, including tobacco, marijuana, opioids, cocaine, hallucinogens, inhalants, methamphetamines, and more. Globally, 1 in 67 women who consumed alcohol during pregnancy will deliver a child with fetal alcohol syndrome. That translates to 190,000 children born with fetal alcohol syndrome every year. People with fetal alcohol syndrome experience growth problems, central nervous systems dysfunction, and facial malformation or anomalies. Shalom, Dr. Mochiza, Radio Salus.
Rwanda Surgeons King Faisal Hospital, together with the visiting team from American surgeons, successfully performed the 3 visiting donor kidney transplants, as the Ministry of Health announced on May 26th. The launch of the medical service in the line with the government's efforts to reduce costly medical referrals abroad, as the ministry indicated though in a press release. Over the last 7 years, it is said 67 Rwandan patients were transferred abroad for the kidney transplants, costing approximately 900 million Rwandan francs, or more than 13 million per patient. The program will continue to run on a monthly basis, with the visiting surgical team working alongside the KFH team for the next 2 years, while this complex care will be independently managed by local specialists. The hospital noted that the development gives hope to patients and their families. We got more stories. Though the government of Rwanda has settled the minimum price for some food, the latter price constrains access to food for some households.
Though the government of Rwanda settled the minimum price for some food, there are many people who dispute the government to overlook the price of the beans, as it costs them arm and legs, and that's why they are crying for the government to reduce, as well as they did to other foods like rice and maize and the others. The beans are too expensive, not to reduce the price how they did to rice and potatoes. Now they bought 1,300, 1,400 Rwandan francs. See how it's expensive. The beans are expensive, different from the last, better it's reduction because it's needed by many people. Its price is rising. They are expensive. They would reduce the price as they did to the flour and rice, and now eaten by the rich. It's impossible now to be eaten by the poor. Minister of Trade and Industry, Dr. Jean Chrysostom Ngabitsinze, said that there scrutinizing the ways of solving that issue, and he added that beans are most popular crops in Rwanda. There was no enough harvest of bean because its season was past. Beans are about growing. We are now collecting the grown one. We will set the price to seller and the price to the buyer. As it's popular food, Rwandans, we are the one who consume beans the most. In June, after harvest, we set the price to the season up. National Institute of Statistics shows that in the first months of this year, the cost of food increased, especially in January. The index price increases at 37.7%, while in February increased at 38.8%, means the change in increase of price is 1.1%. Erisa Edward, Radio Salus.
Elisa, Edward, thank you for that story. We got more stories in today's Saturday report. You're with me, Claude Rutabana. Rwanda has made update to its travel requirement for tourists visiting national park, especially mentioning the removal of COVID-19 test requirement for those visiting Gorilla in Virunga National Park. Rwanda Development Board has announced this change through tweet stating that all tourists, including children over 5 years old, are no longer required to present a negative COVID-19 test when visiting national parks. However, it's important to note that the use of face masks remains mandatory for individuals visiting primates. The previous COVID-19 test requirement for visitors to national parks in Rwanda was implemented in February 2020 as the precautionary measure during the pandemic. However, the global lifting of travel restrictions and improved connectivity by Rwanda and other airlines to Kigali International Airport, Rwanda's tourist industry has experienced significant growth. Going on different stories where welfare and well-being is at the center of information sharing practice, some community in Rwanda are reluctant to working with journalists. They often need special favors from journalists when they are asked to provide information about an incident that may happen.
All over the country, journalists are often heard coming back to the current issues these days, where journalists goes to fetch news and some of these people first ask him to buy them something like alcohol and give them money to agree to talk to him. Some people who spoke to Radio Salus says that sometimes it is due to them to get back their time and to validate the news they give to journalists. You thank me, but pay attention. Don't move like that. You are a journalist, then you ask me information in an unfortunate way. If I ask you a reward, it can be higher because I use my time. You see, I am going to look for a job. In order to give you information, it will require you to buy for me a sip. It costs a little amount like 500, as you see. I may request them 50,000 or 100,000 according to the weight or value of the information. Akimara Ratifa, one of the journalists who have experience in this profession, says that the people have to understand that providing information is a responsibility, especially that the principles of this profession do not allow journalists to buy the news. That story you are going to ask these people, it is not something that you cannot say you are going to sell. It is shared benefit for a community. Professionally, no one who buy the news. You can face some effect when you say you are going to buy news because some people should come and write to you in order to get money. Truly, there is no reality that is there. In addition, the journalists did not invent the news or people invent it. The news is there and is known. Head of Rwanda Media Commission, RMC Krofase Barore, says that providing information should not cost money and promises to continue the campaign aimed at changing the perception. It's true that in the career there are more challenges. There are where you get information easily and on the other hand, you get it difficult way. This is why nowadays there are news teaching process like investigation stories and so on, and you tell journalists to keep calm. It is the nature of the profession. We keep telling people that the news we make is for them. We don't collect information in order to store it. Article 28 of 2023 Constitution of Republic of Rwanda, which was revised in 2015, stated that the freedom of the press when expressing opinions, when receiving information, is recognized and respected by the government, which means that the law on access to information is a law in the provisions of the Constitution of Republic of Rwanda. Fabrice Akuzman, Radio Salus.
More stories in Rwanda. Rwanda National Police outreach the Gerayo Amahoro Road safety campaign in the community gathering across the country to further educate and influence right choices in order to further save lives on roads. On Tuesday, May 23, Rwanda National Police addressed the weekly village gathering commonly known as Inteko Z'abaturage and reminded them their responsibilities as daily road users. They were enlightened on traffic rules and regulations and urged them to comply with the safety standards, but rather the choice to arrive safely to their destinations. The RNP spokesperson, Commissioner of Police CP John Bosco Kabira, stated that the Road Safety Awareness Campaign mission is to ensure safe roads for every road user and that everyone should participate. Well, in some many stories abroad, the Cameroonian separatists kidnapped 30 women. More stories thanks to DW News.
This is the voice of a separatist fighter in Big Babanki, some 25 kilometers west of Bamenda in the northwest region of Cameroon, addressing a group of women, some in their 70s. The separatists released a viral video on Sunday saying that the women were kidnapped for challenging directives to pay illegal taxes. The separatists were collecting monthly payments from children, women, and men, imposing taxes on couples before they get married, and forcing families to pay about 1,000 euros to bury their relatives. Ngongba Asumtalum, the founder of Gender Justice for Sustainable Development, says that the kidnapping is an attempt to silence females, who are often crucial in crisis resolution.
Well, the kidnapping of these women in Babanki is a serious blow to us as civil society actors, especially as women's-led organization, peace advocates, and women organization fighting for peace to return back to the regions. I think as mothers, we are greatly touched because this situation is going overboard. Yeah, I think it really defeats the whole purpose of safety we are talking about.
Salim Boumien is a women's leader in Bamenda. She believes that this is an attempt to erode the power of women.
Arresting those women who are symbolic of women's traditional institution of power for airing their views on a political decision of collecting taxes as acclaimed by villagers is the worst thing that can happen, because not only is it politicizing our traditional institutions of women's power, it is also an insult to womanhood, to motherhood, and also it sets the wrong precedent.
Yvonne Muma is a resident of Bamenda. She is angered by the kidnapping. She tells me that the kidnapping of these women by separatist fighters is the highest sacrilege in the land.
That these boys,
These boys have just raised the wrath of God by touching our mothers. They will have no peace until they confess, or their doom is spelled.
Their doom is spelled.
As the military operation announced by the government gets underway, many are on edge, hoping that the women will be found unharmed and reunited with their families.
More stories abroad. Here's the story about the project of road connecting South Sudan and Kenya. However, funding dries up.
The $25 billion project is expected to improve Kenya's link with South Sudan and Ethiopia. It is a 1,600 kilometers modern railway and 1,700 kilometers of superhighway. News of the stalling of the project was disclosed at a 3-day conference which just ended in South Sudan's capital Juba. The conference was attended by Kenya's Minister for Transport, Kipchumba Murkomen, Ethiopia's Finance Minister, Eyob Tekalin Tolina, and Tabani Deng Gai, one of South Sudan's 5 vice presidents. Gai disclosed that a major road that was expected to connect South Sudan with Kenya has not been constructed due to failure by 2 international lending institutions to provide funds.
When we went into crisis in 2016, the first group to withdraw from this funding was the World Bank, and then followed by the African Development Bank. The support we need from Ethiopia today and from Kenya is that the World Bank and African Development Bank should return to funding.
Kenya's Minister for Transport, Kipchumba Murkomen, said Kenya has already constructed a new road connecting the country with Ethiopia and is currently constructing a road connecting the East African nation's Lamu port to the border with South Sudan.
Already a good progress has been made so that then we can connect Kenya to South Sudan the same way we've done already from Nairobi to Moyale, which connect Ethiopia.
Ethiopia's Finance Minister, Eyob Tekalin Tolina, underscored the commitment of the 3 countries to complete the construction of the project.
We are committed to this grand vision, to convert this vision into clear and tangible economic dividend. These projects desire joint efforts from all of us and require significant private sector, business community participation, and also a serious investment from development partners.
Once completed, Lapset Railway is expected to snake its way to West Africa's Douala, Lagos, Cotonou, Abidjan corridor, running through Cameroon, Nigeria, Benin, Togo, Ghana, and Ivory Coast, opening up yet another alternative route for transatlantic trade and business between the African continent and America. Experts see Lapset project as a major contribution to the African Union's regional integration vision of peaceful, prosperous, and fully integrated continent by 2063.
Dear listeners of Radio Salus, thank you so much. Now is the end of today's morning news bulletin Saturday report. Thanks for listening. Stay connected here with me, Claude Lutabana. Bye-bye.
Radio Salus.
Finally, he's here.